Shalom. Second video for the day. This is Fallen Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. Next question. Actually, this is a kind of a two-parter. One part I'm going to answer on the live stream coming up on 7th day afternoon, which would be, for those that don't know the numbers or the days, Saturday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. Actually, it'll be 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock Central Standard Time on what you all know is Saturday. We'll be answering this question, and that is, following Yeshua, what can a older woman / divorced woman / widowed woman do to be covered? And I'm going to answer that question. But I actually want to take out enough time to do a live stream on the topic and not just, briefly, abstractly cover it. So we will be talking about that on the live stream this coming 7th day or Saturday, which y'all know is Saturday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. But this question is, following Yeshua, I have been single so long. How do I get my mind ready to be married in a biblical marriage, or to be covered in a biblical marriage? It means following the Bible. Because I've been single for so long and I don't know if I can change. Well, I would say changing your mind in that is the same way that everybody has to change their mind. You can't just say, well, because I've been single for so long that, it's special to me and my circumstance is different. No, people come from all different walks of life. There have been people who were bankers that I know. There are people that I know, a lot of people who are thugs or gangsters, speaking from personal experience. There are people that were successful in their respective fields who come to the knowledge of the truth and then are now faced with that task of changing. And they say to themselves, well, I've been doing this for so long. Well, I've been running the streets for 20 plus years. Well, I've been doing this for this plus years. And, that was my story. But there are people who have been in other aspects and other walks of life who have done that thing for so long. Being married and being a single woman, you fall in the same thing. The Bible says, be ye transformed in the renewing of your mind. The Bible says, old things have passed away and all things have become new. What does that mean? So if you're a single woman and you've been single, for a large, I've been 10, 15, 20 plus years, the question is, are you going to do the Bible? That's the question. That's really the question. That's really all you are faced with is, are you going to do the Bible? So if you say you're a believer, if I show you the scriptures, if I show you in the book where it says these things, the question is are you going to believe it? That's the question. Are you going to do what the Bible says? That's the question. All the other pontifications are telling me about your personal experiences and how you've gone through this and gone through that. We've all gone through something. We've all experienced some sort of trauma. We've all had to experience some sort of trauma when leaving this world and coming to Yah. We've all experienced loss. We've all experienced having to change our mind. We've all experienced internal or mental battles. But what comes down to it is it the truth, yes or no? And if it's the truth, are you going to do it? That's all it comes down to. So if you read the book and you see that the Bible says, wives, submit to your husbands. Subject yourself to your husband. That's 1 Peter 3. And then the first one I said was Ephesians 5, starting at verse 23, 24, 25. It tells you to reverence your husband. That's the last verse in Ephesians 5. It tells you, Numbers 30 will tell you about vows, Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, chapter 25 and 26 will tell you what a virtuous woman does and what she is. How she rejoices with her husband, how her husband will fulfill his life, the rest of his years in peace. The question is, are you going to do that? See, the Bible is a doing book. It's a book of doing. It's not a book of reading. It's not a book of theoretical conversations. It's not a book where you get to make shit up to control other people's lives. It's a book that's written, and the question is are you going to do it? And that's what I faced when I read the book, is are you going to do what the book says, yes or no? It's not a matter of, well, if I feel like it, or if this thing over here goes right, or if I find the right man and he's a right man, and then maybe I'll submit to him. If it takes the right man for you to submit, then you're not submissive. I'm just saying. That's like me saying it takes the right woman for me to be a man. If I said that, y'all be laughing at me like, weakling. If I said it takes the right woman for me to do my job, for me to protect my family, it takes the right woman for me to work, it takes the right woman for me to come out here and follow y'all, it takes the right woman for me to grow my food. That's that whole woman has to activate the man shit. I don't need the woman's not activating me. The Most High Yah done activated me already. You have to be willing to study this word, sister and sisters who have come to me with this question. I've been single for so long. What do I do? How do I submit? Well, you just got to do it. You've got to break that will. You have to break that idea that you've been right. Look at your life and ask yourself the question. If you are single and saying, well, I want a husband, and I've been single for 10, 15 years, and to let you know, you probably ain't done it right. So now it's time for you to do it right. And the book is the answer and has all the answers. But it's all predicated on, are you going to do what it says? That's it. That's really the Bible in a nutshell. Are you going to obey me? Choose you this day whom you will serve. You're going to make the choice on whether you're going to or you're not. And from there answers the question of your life. That's it. All the rest of the stuff, all these dating coaches, all this, advice here, advice there, you got to do all that other stuff is just mouth music. People talking to hear themselves speak. But the reality of it is it comes down to, are you going to obey the book? Yes or no? So if you've been single all this time and, I don't know, and it's hard, and I understand, I get where you're coming from, but the reality of it is, are you going to do, if you got the answer, are you going to do it? Because if you get the answer and you don't do it, you might as well have not gotten the answer. The Bible says it would have been better for you to have never known the answer than for you to have known it and to have forsaken the holy commandment. It would be better for you to never have ever heard the book than for you to hear it and forsake the words of the book. Stop making the excuses. Stop arguing about the excuses that you got. Honestly, nobody cares. Think about life. Nobody cares about your excuses. Are you going to do it, yes or no? And if your answer is yes, then that 20 or 15 or 10 years you've been single will be gone. It'll be gone. It's all based on, are you going to obey what the Bible says? And the Bible tells you clearly what it is you're supposed to do as a wife to your husband and for your husband. That's it. I mean, people, it really kind of is that simple. I know people, but it's not that simple. It is that simple. The Bible really is that simple. If you're going to be a wife, it's really as simple as, are you going to obey what the Bible says? And for a lot of y'all, that means you have to overcome yourself and your own feelings. You have to overcome that sense of self that makes you think that what you think and what you feel supersedes any and everything else. Do you believe the truth? Are you willing to do what it says? Are you willing to obey what the Bible says? And are you really willing to, and this is what it comes down to when you read the book, are you really willing to subject yourself, and obey your husband? If you have any ifs, ands, or buts, well then just stay single. But if your answer is an emphatic, resounding yes, understanding that you're going to have your trials and tribulations, but if it's a resounding yes, I am going to do it, I am going to strive for it, I'm going to continue in it until I get it, and then I'm going to keep walking it. If that's your answer, then guess what? You're already halfway there. You're already halfway there. There's your answer. I'm sorry there's not, I'm not one of those dating coaches that'll sit down and pontificate and theorize and, run over scenarios with you. That's not what the book is to me. Especially when you say biblical. Now, if you want it worldly, you can do whatever you want to. I can't answer that question when it comes to worldly. That's where you can go to your dating coaches. But as for me and my house, we serve y'all. And because we serve y'all, I'm just going to do what the book says. Bless y'all. Hope that answers that question. Tomorrow, we'll be back for another one. Shalom.